Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Innal hamdalillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min syururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina may yahdihillahu fala mudhillalah wa may yudhlil fala hadiyalah. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarikalah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh la nabiyya ba'dah amma ba'd. Good morning. I'm Mutia Mustafa, the head of Student Independent Body at Taskia Institute's Matriculation, and welcome to our Motivation webinar series. During this pandemic, Student Independent Body at Taskia Institute's Matriculation is aiming to help this kind of event at least weekly. However, the platform and days do vary. So if you would like to see our next programs, you are welcome to follow us on Instagram at Dim Akhwat with double M 19. Okay. I also want to acknowledge our participant outside the Taskia Institute. Welcome to our participant from Malaysia. Okay. Welcome to our motivation webinar series. And just a few tips before we kick off to help make sure that this event runs smoothly. Please bear with us with any technical difficulty. We've done that a few times, but we still fail overs when it comes to Google Meet and this event. So if you see there is a room chat button on the right corner of your Google Meet page, you can ask your questions there. Or if you are willing to ask our speaker directly, you can just write, I have a questions on the room chat so that we can reach you later at the second half of the webinar. Also, feel free to give your comments and give us your opinion because we would love to hear that from you. Just try to keep it simple and, of course, appropriate for anyone. And lastly, I just want to say that the discussion here is being recorded, and I hope you will enjoy your time with us. So it is said that Ramadan is the month whose beginning is mercy, whose middle is forgiveness, and whose end is the freedom from fire. As we can see, this is such a great momentum and also a great time for us, especially a Muslim, to think carefully on what are the next steps are we going to take after this precious month has passed, so that the benefit that we gain from this month will not be a waste. In the last 4 or maybe 3 days of Ramadan, we might think on what kind of a person we will be after Ramadan ends. Are we going to be the same person as we were before Ramadan? Or maybe we want to turn over a new leaf? And as we all know, the best way to predict the future is simply just to plan it. And here with us, Mr. Andi Irawan, and also known as Coach Andi Irawan. Mr. Andi is experienced in giving coaching in various programs, including leadership and finance related programs. Okay, and he is currently a lecturer at Taskia Institute's Matriculation. Mr. Andi, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you for joining us today, Mr. So, Mr. Andi, I will begin this session maybe by asking you a question. Some people are afraid to plan their own life as they believe that Allah has already planned their life and it is not necessary for them to really plan it. And maybe sometimes they do plan their life and it's all just messed up and sometimes they don't really achieve it the way they plan it. So in your opinion, how important it is for you to make a life plan and what is the best way to create it?
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So, Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Alhamdulillah, I'm feeling honored. I'm feeling so happy this morning. To be able to meet you in this webinar. Yeah, MashaAllah, this webinar is kind of unknown few months ago. Very few people know what is Google Meet, Hangout, Zoom, and everything. But mashallah, since Allah gave us Corona a few months ago, probably from from brewery, then everyone knew about this kind of platform and a lot of what we call it alternatives, yeah. And so, mashallah. And the second thing, I'd like to thank for Bim Ahwad with Rana as the leader and all of you organizer to have such pleasant discussion this morning. All right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa la syarika lah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan wa rasul nabiyya wa rasul. Allahumma shalli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. All right. Rana has really kicked in with an opening question that's not easy to answer. However, the complete understanding you will get throughout the session. But just to start, just to start the session, that Allah has given us the capacity to think, to plan, and to execute. I mean, that's really distinguish us with other creatures. What I believe, for example, about the corona today, corona is of course a virus. Can a virus have a plan? Did it plan to infect the whole world? Or simply corona just following the fitrah, the uh, the way that Allah has created specifically for the corona. So I think that's what make us different from other creatures. So Rara, this has to be a balance, yeah, balance between planning and also accepting qada and qadar. So I mean, making plan is essential and part of our life. It is makes us human. Make planning and then execute it and make us different. I think that's the opening answer. Yeah, you will get more understanding throughout the sessions, though.
Okay, sir. Maybe the presentation is ready right now. Uh, we are going to start this the coaching session, I guess. I was okay. I will start the. Okay, so hold on, sir. We are trying to your slideshow to show your slideshow. Okay.
Okay. All right. So everyone, this is me as a collector of knowledge. I learned from many teachers. So thank you, my teachers. Um, I'm 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 nothing, yeah, without your guidance and knowledge, inshallah. Uh, on top left, we know is Dr. E. Antonio, mashallah, soon to be professor. I learned from him about Pro-LM. What is Pro-LM is prophetic leadership and management wisdom and Sharia economics. And the second one next to him is Dr. Murtiati Mukhlisin. She is director of Tazkiyah now. And I learned from her a lot about Sakina finance. It's a personal and family financial planning based on Islamic teaching. And on the center, in the center is Dr. Ahmad Mukhlis Yusuf. I learned a lot from him. He's also my mentor and my coach. I learned a lot from him about strategy and coaching. And next to him is Dr. Rahmat Mulyana. I learned from him a lot about Islamic finance, about structuring, about sukuk, about yeah, banking and stuff. And on top right is Dr. Zaim Ukhrawi. I learned from him about self-development and education. All right, and that's me on bottom left. And now I'm concerned about Sharia business coach, and also in the meantime, while sharing some experience and knowledge to Taskia students matriculation. So, Alhamdulillah, I'm happy to be here with you, and also hello, our brother and sister from Malaysia. Hopefully, Ramadan Kareem for you all. Yeah. All right. Well, that is me. I haven't translated into English. So it's a bit surprise. I'll make it really international sessions. Yeah, appreciate it. You. So yeah, I'll translate it into English. But if you are Malay and speaking Melayu, it's gonna be easy for you. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. All right, next one. Well, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, this picture is about our response in Corona and also on our life. We have circle of influence and the circle of empathy. What are they and what the difference and how it affects your life plan? So this is an opening, but also an eye opener. Sometimes we worry too much on something that we cannot control. We worry too much about something about that outside ourselves, outside our power. I mean, if we read newspaper online or offline, digital newspapers, and a lot of news in Facebook, WhatsApp, and also some other social media, and makes us worry day by day with Corona. And some of us might be, what we call it, lose the temper, yeah. I'm gonna lose the temper, lose the positive side to see the world. So focus on the circle of influence. What is circle of influence? It's something that we can influence, something that we can control, something that we can something that we can manage. All right, that's what we call circle of influence. So focus on the circle of influence. And we have the second circle. The second circle is circle of empathy. What is circle of empathy? It is something that outside us that we cannot control at all, or maybe some. If you have intersection between the circle of influence and the circle of empathy, that's your contribution area. So for example, now in Corona, define your circle of influence. First is your head, what you think, what you feel is your circle of influence. Your mind and heart in a healthy and in a positive way. That's what you can control. Circle of empathy, a lot of things now. Um, in in this time, yeah, especially in the pandemic time, we should sympathy and empathy to people who fight in the front of battlefield of Corona, yeah, the healthcare worker and stuff. And what is our contribution area? You can define it. Whether you give donation, whether you do some movement, whether you do some awareness, making flyers and stuff to make people make youth, including today, including it's our contribution area. It's BIM contribution area. It's your contribution area. It's my contribution area. Okay. Next picture, please. Ah, so as an opening, the hikmah in Corona is this one. To see to see inside, dig deeper that Allah has already given us so many years of hikmah. If you are 20 years old, so you have been receiving Allah blessing, merciful, and make rizq, hikmah, everything for already 20 years. And the corona has already has only 2 or 3 months. So we should focus on those years of blessing and nikmah, not just focusing on the condition that is not ideal to us here, to most of us. All right. And then once we look inside, we could look outside. It is helping us. All right. That's the opening in response to Corona. Next one, please. Okay. I have 4 menus for you today. So there are 4 topics, 4 sections. The first is reclaiming life, reclaiming your life. It's really connect to Rara questions in the beginning. about should we make plan or should we just let it flow. Right. Number two is we learn from Prophet Muhammad SAW about continuous process. So plan is not one single paper or one single document that lasts forever. No, but it is a continuous process, a dynamic, a fluid one. Okay. And then number three is crafting your life plan. And number four is some helpful tools. I don't prepare a rigid example of life plan, but you can make your own and we can have discussion afterwards. All right. First, before we are moving to reclaim your life, you can see the hadith there, hadith Muslim number 2999. And Rasulullah SAW said, it's ajaib, yeah, ajaib. Mu'min life is wonderful. Ram said marvelous, yeah. MashaAllah. If a Muslim get a good thing, kesenangan, happiness, then he or she thankful to Allah. And that's good for him. But in the hardship, he or she will take the sabr, the patient way. And it is also good. So any condition we feel, any condition you have today, we have today, it's wonderful as a Muslim. MashaAllah. That's what we have to believe. All right. Next one. Bismillah. There is a very, very powerful quote in this book, Futuhul Buldan. It is written by Sheikh Al-Balad Zuri. The full title is Futuhul Buldan. Is in Indonesia is penaklukan negeri-negeri dari Fatu Mekah sampai negeri Sin. And specifically, I quote Rid'i bin Amir. He said something powerful to Rustum. Rustum is the commander, yeah? Persian commander. Have a read.
Okay.
Read yourself. No. Can you return to the previous slide, please? Okay. Feel it. Feel it. What if Rid'i bin Amir speak to you directly in front of you? Sesungguhnya Allah mengutus kami untuk mengeluarkan siapa saja yang ia kehendaki dari penghambaan sesama manusia menuju penghambaan kepada Allah, dari kesempitan dunia menuju ke lapangannya, dari kezaliman semua agama menuju keadilan Islam. So reclaiming your life is actually a concept that we have to put ourselves only as a slave of Allah, servant Allah only. So your activity, your learning, your journey toward your success is only to serve Allah, to spread Islam, to free people from the very narrow world, yeah, very narrow-minded, narrow world, toward an openness, space, a huge space in Islam. Okay, so this is very interesting. To reclaim your life and put only as a servant of Allah. So when you go to school, you learn knowledge and stuff. You respect your lecture and you respect your friends. There is only one intention on it. It is ibadah. It is to be a good servant of Allah. When you cook to your parents, you make now, yeah, when we are having learn from home, work from home, you have plenty of time. Helping your parents making some iftar, maybe. And what is your calling? What is your inner call? Your inner call is serving Allah through serving parents by cooking food to your friends. It is different. I mean, when we put this kind of point of view, you will get what we call it bigger reward from Allah. Because inamal amalu binian. I see many people, many simple amal, but have a big uh, ajr, have a big rewards from Allah. Because of what? Because of the niyyah. So this one. So free yourself from anything but service to Allah by serving others. There is a Allah akan senantiasa menolong hambanya bila hamba itu menolong sesamanya. Okay, so that's the paradigm. Next one, please. All right. Now let's come to the concept of self. Are we playing victim or victim? What is the position? Are you above the line or are you below the line? When you see yourself now, are you blaming for others? Are you blaming your parents? Are you blaming your brothers and sisters from for any condition that you have today? Or you are making excuses? Or even worse, denial. It happened, yeah. It happened in the beginning of Corona. Many countries, which now already surpassed Wuhan in China. At the beginning, they feel denial that the virus will not enter their country. That virus is just only like a normal flu symptom. It is denial. On In our case, what is our denial? What is the excuse? What is the blame we put on others? Okay, so if we still feel that we are in below the line, that's the big victim mentality. Please move to above mentality. Could you preview the previous slide? Yeah. All right. So instead of doing blaming, excuses, and denial, play above the line. Be or have the victor mentality. What are they? It is ownership. You are the owner of your plan. You are the owner of your future. And then accountability. You are accountable. You are responsible for what your action in the world. And then having responsibility. Take responsibility and hands on what happened in your life. All right. So remember this is quite powerful and easy formula. So the above the line, you can see ownership, accountability, responsibility is like ore. What is ore? Ore is dayung. When you have this mentality, you are moving forward. You are like rowing, yeah, with this ore. So you moving forward. However, if you choose to play below the line, you have blame, excuse, and bad. What is it? Bad. It's not move, yeah. You sleep on the bed, so not moving. It's your choice whether you choose to or bad. Okay, next one. MashaAllah, this is continuous process uh, taken from sifat wajib Rasulullah Muhammad SAW. Okay, I purposely make them into this uh, quadrant. This is knowledge I got from Dr. Zaim Ukhrawi. He said this is a process of universe. The process of universe is a fitrah, yeah. It's a fitrah. He tried to interpret sidik amanah, sidik fatanah, amanah tablik in a process like we know of plan, do. Okay. From blue one. In the previous slide, we have concept of or bed. Right. Okay. And this is the beginning. Blue is representing color of faith. It is belief. As Muslim, we believe that rizq, uh, blessing, life, is even life itself is nikmat. So everything comes from Allah. We following Allah path. We following the fitrah that Allah given to us. So do remember that Siddiq is representing faith. And also, what is personal excellence? It is a concept of the dignity, integrity, right? Honesty. That is very much close, having close connection to Siddiq. All right. Once you have Siddiq, you move to Fatona. Fatona is what do you call it? Cerdas ya. Cerdas is smart, is clever, is a concept of you are knowledgeable and know how to use knowledge in the proper time. That is Fatona. Okay. The color of green represent Fatona. It is the planning. The previous slide, please. Okay, so Fatona represent clever, represent planning. Okay, acidic represent blue color as a faith. What do you believe from any situation that we have today? And then we move to Fatona is make a planning. So from today we move forward to the future. And the third move to Amanah. Amanah is professional skills. Yeah, it is a quotient to execute what you have planned. So when Siddiq give you a sense of protection and calmness that everything comes from Allah and we're gonna back to Allah, Fatana gives you a message of make a plan as best as you could once you have a strong faith. And then Amanah is something that you execute it with accountability and responsibility. So if you have plan already, plan now, executed with Amanah means you do your best in executing it. Okay? You make a plan and do your best. For example, for students, the easiest way, the easiest example is final exam. Right. The final exam. So first, from the blue, from the Civic, do remember that doing final exam with full integrity is also example from Rasulullah. So never have a second thought of doing cheating in an exam. All right. Once you have it, have that strong faith, do the fatona, do the planning. All right. So what should I prepare to be able to excel in final exam? And then the third is amanah. All right. How long the time you have to prepare your final exam, and what should you prepare? If your friend do this kind of strategy, what kind of strategy you are different from others to excel? All right. And the fourth, move to the red one. The red one are tabligh. Tabligh is interpersonal skills. It's a leadership skills. Not only preparing for yourself, also help others. Where is it available? All right. So it's beautiful circle. Yeah. It's a beautiful circle. The interpretation is actually based on Dr. Zaim dissertation. So it's quite strong. However, it's interpretative. Yeah. I mean, it's not from the ulama directly, but is likely to get inspiration from sifat wajib Nabi, from the example of Nabi. So this is Sidik Amanah, Sidik Fatonah Amanah Tablik. Blue is the faith, green is the plan, yellow is the execution, Tablik, red is the leadership, helping others. Then afterward, you do the cycle. Okay? So after exam, you have to prepare for the next semester, right? Do it again. So this is a cycle, yeah. MashaAllah. Next one. Okay, my friend. Finally, it's time to make your own plan. All right. As I mentioned in the beginning, I'm not really preparing you for a specific example, but you can create your own thing, and don't worry about any templates. Stick it with your own style. So it really understood by you because it's your life plan. But anyway, this is the very principle, very basic principle of scenario of a life plan. So we start from the bottom left. It's today. The timeline is today. Then we go through the time. Well, for example, you can make it into 4 years timeline, or you can make it longer, for 20 years, for example, or 30 years, or you can think much more longer, the end of our life, whether our life will end in Jannah or the opposite way. Okay. So this is today and this is time. And you will have, we will have, all of us have the scenario cone. Why it's like a cone shape, uh, narrow in today, in the left, and it's getting bigger in the right. So all the uncertainty. So no one can certain what he or she will be or get in the future. Whether in 10 years time you will be someone something. Okay. But what we need to do is making possible scenario. Okay. So all of the scenario code on the right is possible. Whether you can achieve your goals. For example, you make goals. I will graduate from university in 3 years' time. Right? That's the ideal. That's probable. Some of you might graduate before 4 years, but some of you might missed the 4 years graduation. Right? Whether you make plan or whether you don't plan, all of it are possible. Okay, because the future belongs to Allah, not to us. We just follow and do our best. Now, the key word is do our best. So in order to follow the fitrah of preparing for the best as ummah, we make scenario, we make planning. Now plan, how will you graduate in 3 years time? I'll take 3 years time, yeah, for easy example. Whether you are in the probable scenario, that light blue, or preferable, it's not ideal, but it's still in the core, or a wild card. Make a plan. Can you imagine? I want to challenge you to imagine, yeah, in 3 years' time, on your graduation day, when a rector call your name and mention your GPA, what is your GPA score looks like? Is it 4? Is it 3? Is it 3 point something? Or some other numbers? So plan it from now. I'm aiming for this goal for academic, yeah. I'm planning for this goal for other aspect of life. So in order to land yourself in preferable and probable scenario in the future, so make a planning. Okay, this is a simple answer, yeah. But the best planning, even though you make a best planning possible, it still have many variations in the future. That's why, my friend, Allah gave us a solution of What is it? Salat istikharah. So istikharah is not only for choosing your future husband or future wife. No, not only for that. It is most famous for that purpose, but not only that. Whether you would like to choose, for example, concentration in accounting, in BME, in Islamic economics and stuff, involve him, involve Allah in your decision making by doing istikharah. So hopefully that any future outcome is best for you in Allah point of view, not just our point of view. Because sometimes we feel that okay, this condition is not perfect for me, but it is good for us in the future. I recall a video from Steve Jobs, yeah, when he was still alive and giving what we call it a speech in, if I'm not mistaken, Stanford University graduation. He makes speech, and one of the powerful message from his speech is life is like connecting the dots. Sometimes we don't know what happened to us, why we have to be here, why we learn this one, why we meet with these people, why we ask a lot of why, right, in our life. But then Steve Jobs only understood why that thing happened to him after few years in the future. So he just realized that, okay, why he is being fired from his own company, then why he's not completing university, why he is learning a phone, yeah, making a phone. You can find his video in YouTube. But he only realized it way in the future. Oh, this is the hikmah. This is the God mission for him. All right. So there's a good wise word: million or thousand miles journey starts from the first step. So if you already find your journey, your goals start from the first step, it is to make a planning, a good planning, and involve Allah by making dua, by making istikhara prayer. Next one, please. Okay. Well, life plan, in my opinion, not only involving a definition of graduate, for example, here, but we should address aspects of our lives. For example, you develop your capital, intellectual capital. Okay, so during 3 years in the future, plan what kind of knowledge you would like to get in order to achieve your goal. Plan financial capital. When you graduate, how much money you have in your bank account and how? By doing entrepreneurship, by selling stuff, by helping people to translate journals if you are quite good in English, by teaching students English, for example, or some other knowledge, math, for example, you can increase your financial capital. Physical capital. In this Corona time, keep your body in good shape, have a light exercise every single day. Emotional capital. You learn to be better person emotionally. Well, that is a good tips, yeah, from a friend who are professional in emotional intelligence. His tips is give yourself a 6 second time before you are choosing an emotion, right? Give yourself 6 seconds to think, to imagine what kind of impact you will get if you choose certain emotion. Social capital. You have your friends, you have networks. In order to achieve your goal after you graduate, which or who you should have contact with, what kind of network you should join, what kind of club, you should join in order to achieve your goal. Okay, so address all of this capital, not only a single capital. Okay, next slide, please. All right, and this is one of the tools I'd like to introduce to you. And after this, we're going to have a Q&A sessions. This is a simple tools, but really famous in the world now, especially in the world of business. So I bet if you work for some companies, you will have this kind of a framework here you have every single day. Okay, it's called discipline of execution. So after you make a long, lifelong plan, the cool tips to make it happen is to execute it. Remember the yellow color? Ah, this is the yellow color. Discipline number one is focus on the widely important goals. Okay, what is widely important goals? It is a concept that, so everyday life is like a tornado. We are sometimes busy with something that is not important in relating to our goals. But make sure that your goals, you give your time, a specific time in a day, to execute your widely important goals. So for example, specifically if you'd like to, for example, get a good grade in IELTS, so if you would like to study abroad after you graduate from Taskia or your schools, okay, and English is a must for you, you'll need at least 6.5 or 7. Make sure you allocate daily time to focus on that goal, right? And the rest of the time, of course, you can do anything else, playing games, cooking, and doing some other things. It's part of life, yeah. I mean, don't just lock yourself in the room and then study. No, no. I mean, it's the comma principle. It's something small, but you do continuously. It's better than if you take a big chunk in a one time. So widely important goals. You can also relate it into your annual goals or monthly goals. What is your 2020 resolution? What is the important milestone you should achieve in 2020? That's become your widely important goals. Number two, discipline to is act on the lead measures. Still in the same page, please. That one, the discipline two, act on the lead measures. What is lead measures? Lead measures is how to achieve it, your initiative to be able to secure your goal. So, for example, I'll do it again with the IELTS here. Your goal is get IELTS minimum 7. That's your widely important goals. And what is your lead measures? Lead measures is allocating 15 minutes per day to learn IELTS. Allocate 5 minutes per day to speak with me, for example. Speak with yourself in front of mirror to improve your speaking. What else? Buying IELTS book, doing online exercise. That's what we call a lead measure. So initiative, stepping stone to achieve the discipline one, widely important goals. And then discipline number 3, that's a keep comparing scoreboard. What is scoreboard? When you ride a motorcycle or car, you will have the dashboard, right? The speed dashboard. So make a comparing scoreboard means you track time to time your progress. So for example, the IELTS thing, yeah, you take the online test every 2 or 3 months to be able to track your progress in learning. Okay, and then number 4 is this one is discipline. They create a cadence of accountability. So tell your friends, tell your parents that mom, dad, alhamdulillah, I'm doing this initiative every single day to be able to achieve my goal to get a higher IELTS score, for example. All right, so make it like, for example, like proposal. Yeah, it is very good actually. Now is the end of Ramadan, and try to make your own life plan, and then make a presentation in front of your parents. Okay, make a presentation in front of them. This is my important goals in 2020. This is my initiative to achieve it, and this is my milestone. Okay, after 1 month, I will do something and something. And the last one is this one, the accountability. Make a presentation all the time. Isn't it cool? Have you tried this one in your life? Have you ever tried that? Okay, I still have quite a lot of material, but I'll end presentation now, and let's have a discussion. Okay, you can use the chat feature, or you can speak directly. Okay, it's Q&A session. You can unmute yourself. Hello, Mutia.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Sir. Uh, so, like I said earlier, if you want to ask questions, feel free to write your questions on our room chat. And if you're willing to ask the Mr. Andy directly, you can just type "I have a question" on the room chat. So we can reach you after this. Okay, there is one question here, sir,
Yeah.
from Rifelda Rizky, Kalista Millennia. What if we already made a life plan and do our best, but it turns out won't work as what we wish for? Then we finally gave up for trying and following the flow instead. Is it wrong? And how to grow our life passion again? Thank you, sir.
It's very deep, yeah. Very good question. Okay, Rara, can you do the previous slide, please? The scenario code.
The scenario.
Yeah, this one. Okay, Felda. Hopefully this scenario code will help you. Yeah. First is, well, this is the today plan and the future reality. You are essentially asking about what if there's a gap between something that we already planned and the reality. And sometimes when we don't achieve what we plan, and then we feel down, like, oh, okay, I'm worthless, I'm hopeless, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, and then the low self-esteem, and then you need motivation. All right, by the way, that condition could happen to us, to all of us. Look at the scenario code. Yeah. Today we only make, for example, one plan. Okay, I want to achieve the probable, but then Allah send us or make us achieve the preferable, or sometimes wild card. It is part of Allah will, yeah. So first, our mental model, we have to accept it as qadar and qadar, something that written and some things that in Lahul Mahfuz, yeah, written in Lahul Mahfuz, and something that already happened in our life. All right, but the most important thing is first realize that all plausible outcome is possible, and it's part of takdir, part of qadar and qadar. But then focus on the planning. If there is something we need to adjust in our life, do the adjustment. The previous slide, please. Yeah, say about this one. Inspiration from Rasulullah. The first one is you have to have a faith that yes, Allah give us potential, Allah give us knowledge, Allah give us intellectual, Allah give us everything that we need to be a successful person in the future. That's the siddiq part, right? The iman, the faith, your belief. And then you make planning in Fatana, all right? and then you execute it. You do it with amanah. You are helping others then, spreading your success story, or giving support to others to achieve their success. That's tabligh. But it's not finished in tabligh. It's like spiral, it's wind up spiral. Once you get tabligh, you make announcement, you write in your blog, you do anything. You can be YouTuber, yeah, whatever, to spread your movement, your initiative, or simply make a presentation to your parents. You show it to your parents. This is your plan. This is your action, and this is the result. After tabligh, when you find gap between the fatona, between the green, between the plan and the actual result, you do the siddiq again. You do the iman again. You make the faith again. That everything comes from Allah and everything belongs to Him.
Okay.
The most important question is, as you wrote there, Felda, is have you tried your best? That's the question. Have you tried your best? If you feel that you already tried your best, and that's it, it's the best for you, inshallah. But if you feel you haven't give your best, try to find to improve. Make the green again. Make the circle. So the circle is like going around while going up, which means improving your life quality. Because if you don't have a plan, the circle won't move. It fall down directly, right? And even winding down. With no plan, you do winding down. But with plan, execution, evaluation, continuous improvement, you will go up. It will give you a sense of achievement, motivation, and also, like, success is something that near, it's not that far from you. So another tips is to make a small win. So for example, you plan to graduate in 3 years with GPA something. Make it a GPA 3.9. I'll make it 4. Okay, but make a small win. What a small win? Small win is, okay, this semester, so I would like to get or graduate in with this score. This semester I have to achieve this score. I have to excel, and give yourself a reward, a small reward. Eating bakso, for example, when you achieve some small win, give yourself a treat.
Oh,
Okay, so it will make you motivate.
okay. So it's really important to really give our best in everything we do, yes, sir.
I think so,
Uh,
yeah. It works for me at least. When I have a good thing, for example, yeah. Well, I like to do culinary things. So when I'm happy, for example, I achieve something, I will treat my friend a food. So eating
oh,
together.
that sounds
Oh,
lovely. All
that's
right.
how we celebrate. Yeah, make a small celebration. And we celebrate ourselves. Syukur, yeah, as a sign.
Okay. Right.
Alhamdulillah, Allah give us this blessing, and then I share it to other person. But you have many things to celebrate your small win. So the big win, yes, this is a long-term planning, but don't forget to make the smaller planning. For example, monthly or even weekly in Ramadan. For example, we still have a few more days in Ramadan. If you haven't achieved a goal, make a goal, and then celebrate it by the end of Ramadan. Yeah, celebrate by giving others. You can do that, or giving something. Treat yourself as well. Okay.
Okay, I think that everyone is really, alhamdulillah, pretty excited. Yeah, I wish that we could have more time to really discuss about it, but sadly that our time is almost up here. Uh, so I think we will wrap up our discussion today, our session today, since there is, alhamdulillah, there is no more questions, and also that our time is up. I would like to wrap up our session today by a quote from Mario Teguh. So Mario Teguh said, just like a good person who has a past, a sinner also have a future. So keep calm and plan your life. No matter how much you fail, just keep going. Okay, just keep going. Keep fighting for your dreams, and we wish you luck for everything that you want to achieve in the future. So thank you very much for Mr. Andy for your time.
Can I have a closing tips, please?
Okay, okay, sure.
Okay, go to next slide. Again, next one. Next one. Next one. Okay, next one. Yeah, this one. Okay. Well, this is maybe that very close to our life here in the future. So have a look on these three posters. Okay, you can try this one actually. Yeah, make your own version. Okay, so for closing for me, so this past month, so during Ramadan, since the early of Ramadan, I joined in a coaching movement with students from Surabaya. They are from ITS, Institut Teknologi 10 November, Surabaya, and also Erlangga. So a couple of them we have a coaching sessions, and I make a role play with them. So you can try this role play. Yeah? The first is ask yourself who is your idol. Siapa idola teman-teman? Who is your idol? I share some insight, yeah, from those sessions. I have more than 10 sessions with them. So some of them replied with, okay, my idol is Pak Habibie. Well, of course, the ultimate idol is Rasulullah, the ultimate example. But I mean something that closer to us that you know, uh, or your inspiration, yeah. So who is your idol or inspirational person in your life? Ask yourself, okay, when you came up, for example, okay, my idol is Pak Habibie. Ask yourself why. Why he is your role model? Why she is your role model? Okay. Then the third is if you are given 5 minutes to present your life plan in front of him, in front of your idol, how would you, what will you share to your idol about your life plan? What makes your life plan as lively? Or for example, another question. So one of your life plan is to get a scholarship, a master's degree and doctoral degree, international degree, from Harvard, from other big universities. And then you are in a room with your idol, with Pak Habibie, for example. And you are in the final stage of interview in getting the scholarship. You are given 3 to 5 minutes to present yourself in front of Pak Habibie. Why? You should, you are the one who should get this scholarship. What will you present to him?
Oh.
Okay, so we play like a time tunnel, yeah? Where you see yourself in the other end, on your goal end. And you imagining yourself, you affirm yourself, you make a plan, you make uh, a staircase, a ladder, in order to achieve your goals. It's also a good game. It's also a good way to uh, to make a creative process in achieving your goals. So you can do that. Another uh, what if question I asked to the students that join the coaching program is if Pak Habibie will interview 1,000 applicants of the scholarship and you are one of them, how would you differentiate yourself from others? What makes you unique? What makes you different? What makes you excel compared to other participants? So find your uniqueness.
Okay, so uniqueness is important.
Yeah, your unique is important. Okay, so yeah,
Okay,
the simple tips.
thank you.
So play the time capsule or
Yeah.
time channel. You imagine yourself at the end of it, at
Okay.
your at the situation where you are achieving your goals, and then you make the plan to go there. And also, uh, not I mean, ask yourself what kind of support you will need from other people, from your parents, from your lecturer, from other people, in order to achieve your goals. So it is okay, my friend. It is okay for not okay. That's also the closing remarks. Yeah, it is
Oh,
okay for not okay. I mean, well, we might make a perfect plan, but it is okay for not okay. If you don't achieve your perfect plan, then make an adjustment. Make an adjustment. For example, now even for us, a lecturer, yeah, we are being pushed to do the online classes, online exam and stuff. I've never imagined this kind of situation happen previously. But then we have to adjust. We have to adapt. We have to adapt in this kind of change. So same to you. If you have long-term goals, don't give up on that yet. Okay. After you asking, okay, is it worth to achieve, worth to diperjuangkan lah. You are worth to fight for, yeah. Worth to fight for. If you feel it is worth to fight for, then don't give up so easily. However, make some changes, adaptation, adjustment, so you can go with the flow. And this is what I mean with it is okay for not okay. Yeah, so adjustment. And last thing, I just want to remind you that a good question to ask day by day is, have you tried your best? Thank you.
okay. Okay. Thank
For
you very much, Mr. Andy, for your time. We really appreciate it. And thank you also to all participants who are coming along and joining this webinar series. We really appreciate that. I think the closing statement is already from Mr. Andy. I really hope that you guys can get benefits or get something insight, yeah, to do better after Ramadan. On behalf of moderator, I do apologize for any inconvenience during the program. If you want more information about Taskia Institute, you can visit the website on www.taskia.ac.id. Or if you want to see more of our programs, you can follow us on Instagram at BIMAhwat19 with double M, don't forget. Okay, I think that's all for today. Thank you very much. Please stay at home, stay safe, keep wash those hands, and thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Goodbye.